This video is for Lesson 4-1, Using Accounts and Preparing and Maintaining a Chart of Accounts. The learning objectives: we will construct a chart of accounts for a service business organized as a proprietorship. We will demonstrate correct principles for numbering accounts. We will apply file maintenance principles to update a chart of accounts, and we will complete the steps necessary to open general ledger accounts. An account form is used to summarize in one place all the changes to a single account, and a separate account form is used for each account. Now, a journal is a permanent record of the debit and credit parts of each transaction, with transactions recorded in chronological order. However, a journal does not show in one place all the changes in a single account. If only a journal is used, a business must search through all journal pages to find items affecting a single account balance. For this reason, a form is used to summarize in one place all the changes to a single account, and a separate form is used for each account. An account form is based on and includes the debit and credit sides of a T account. In addition to debit and credit columns, space is provided in the account form for recording the transaction date and journal page number. This information can be used to trace a specific entry back to where a transaction recorded in a journal. Because the form has columns for the debit and credit balance, it is often referred to as the balance ruled account form. The account balance is calculated and recorded as each entry is recorded in the account. Recording information in an account is described later in this chapter. The T account is a useful device for analyzing transactions into debit and credit parts. However, the balance ruled account form is more useful than the T account as a permanent record of changes to the account balances. A group of accounts is called a ledger. A ledger that contains all accounts needed to prepare financial statements is called a general ledger. The name given to an account is known as an account title, and the number assigned to an account is called the account number. A list of account titles and numbers showing the location of each account in a ledger is known as a chart of accounts. The chart of accounts for Delgado Web Services is shown here. How we would start this off is we have our title, which is chart of accounts. We have our balance sheet accounts on the left and our income statement accounts on the right. We would start with assets, which is labeled for 100. Then we have liabilities, which is 200, owner's equity, which is 300, and then our revenue is 400, and expenses are 500. And each of these are listed in a certain order. Before I go into the reason behind why they are listed in a certain order, for example, supplies is 150. The 1 stands for the general ledger division, and the 50 would be the location within the general ledger. Assets are listed in the order with cash starting first, and then how they are listed going down is basically how easy they are to turn into cash. So there's cash, there's petty cash if you happen to have that account. We haven't used it yet. But then we have accounts receivable. That's easy to turn into cash once our customers pay us. Supplies we could turn into cash by selling them or returning them. And then prepaid insurance we could also turn into cash if we were to cancel our account. Liabilities we list in the alphabetical order. You can see here, owner's equity, we list capital, drawing, and then income summary. We have not used income summary yet, but that one is listed last under owner's equity. Our only revenue is sales, and then expenses are also listed in alphabetical order, same as liability, and also our accounts receivable, you can see here. Also, they increase by increments of 10. The reason that we do this is because new numbers can then be assigned between existing account numbers without remembering all existing accounts. So, for example, if we had a new expense, let's say it started with an F, we would give it number 545, and then we can put it in the middle rather than renumbering all of our expense accounts. And that procedure is called file maintenance. That's the procedure for arranging accounts in a general ledger, assigning account numbers, and keeping records current. So an example for assigning new account numbers: miscellaneous expense is our existing account at 560. If we had a postage expense, we could put that in between miscellaneous expense and supplies expense by assigning it number 565. And if we had a new account that was, say, water expense, that's at the end of the alphabet, we would assign that a number by the 10 digits, since we had room for that there at the end. We just want to keep them in alphabetical order. However, as we use our 3-digit numbering system here, you can use 4 or 5 or whatever a business wants to use. It just depends on the number of accounts. If we kept growing our business, we could go ahead and change and renumber all of our accounts and make them have 4 digits instead of 3. Writing an account title and number on the heading of an account is called opening account. How we would do this: to open the cash account, we would write the word cash next to the account heading in our general ledger, and then we would put the account number 110 in the heading. And that's all you have to do to open an account. So this lesson is just starting the basis for us to be able to start posting in our next lesson. And that's where we will use that post reference column in our journal, which we have previously left blank except for putting in check marks.